Okay, let's start to design our login page, which is here, right? But first, we may want to run our project to see changes on the screen when we change to this design. Okay, let me click View App, and we have a login page here. So first of all, we need to create some entity to put our fields, right? Username, password, and etc. So I'm going to create an entity in here, which is going to be a non-persistent entity. We don't need that because we will store the username, password, birth date, for example, that kind of attributes in memory. So no need to create persistable entity. Persistable means it will create a database table for that. So for now, we don't need that. We will keep our attributes in the UI. Then we will communicate with the Mendix backend. I will explain you later. We will communicate with the go to app drop down in here, go to marketplace modules. We have administration here. We will speak through here, okay? But it's later. And go to domain model here, double click to the entity and choose non-persistable and click anonymous. We can give a name like this. And then click new and we will start to add our attributes. For example, username, like this, we can keep it. Password, mail, birth date, which will be a date type here. We will have gender, which will be an enumeration. We can create an enumeration. Click new here and choose anonymous model. We can say like enum gender, and it will have a values male, female, and maybe other, right? And click OK. And I will click OK again. So username, password, male, birth date, gender, we can say a name, string. This will be a real name, and we can create a surname, right? Like this. And we can click OK. So we have it. This non-persistable entity will keep the data that user enters to our login web page here. So I want to go to toolbox here, and we have a widgets here, and change the list view. I don't like this version of this. Go here and search for a grid, and it will be a layout grid like this. It may be a full. We can drag and drop login to inside the layout, and we will need a data view which keeps only one data object. Let's say data, and drag and drop to here, and we need to give some data object to here. And it will be a microflow for now because we need an empty object that is created in runtime, for example. Click select, and we don't have any microflow. Let's say DS, which means data source, login, for example. Okay. And click OK again. Go to microflow and create new object. This object will be a anonymous object. So we will not commit this object to database, which is actually impossible right now because it's a non-persistable entity. And object name will be div anonymous. No need to refresh in client. I will discuss in later lessons what does that mean. And click OK. And we need to return an object. All right, click object, choose an anonymous object, and write a variable name which stores our anonymous object, new anonymous object. Okay, Click save, control save is okay. Go to properties and click this screen here. It will get the properties of the microflow and click the allowed roles, and you can click an anonymous here, okay? Which is simple. Because we are in a production mode, we need to define the roles from here, or you can define from here in the microflow access. It is easy. And let me try to run a project to see, do we have any errors? It seems we have. Let me check. No access to entity anonymous, which is great. Go to domain model. Our anonymous user role doesn't have access to any field of this entity. Go to access rules, which is easy here. Click anonymous. For now, I will give the all rights to our anonymous user role. Okay, read and write, read write, allow creating new objects, deleting existing objects, and etc. Click OK and OK again. So we don't have any error. And let me try to run our project again. Okay, let me revamp again. Still same. But we have probably a div here. Yes, mx layout grid is a class name of our layout probably, yeah. Okay, let me return to Mendix again, go to our page, which is here, and I want to add a text box, which is that one. We can add another one too, to choose an attribute of this text box, which will be username here. Username, the label came automatically, and I will choose a password, okay, which is a string, and click OK. So when we enter the necessary attributes to your username and password, we need button rights to log in or switch page to register page, right? I'm just going to put the button inside the data view to access the current object inside this context. Let me say login like this, and Control C and Control V. I will create a register button here. Okay, let me run our project again. What we will see, Chrome, here we are, we have a little bit ugly login page, but of course we have two buttons here. All right, so for this lesson I think that's enough. See you in next lesson.